Good morning. Happy coffee talk. Coffee talk this morning. Let me first start off by showing you my coffee or telling you about it. It is Starbucks French roast. That's not normal for me. I ran out of Black Rifle and I had backup coffee, and that's my Starbucks French roast. I'm not going to be one of those people that complain about Starbucks because I go there too much to complain. That would be very incongruent. However, it does have that sort of a little bit bitter taste. So I'm just giving it to you straight. And I'm drinking it out of my mug that I got from Annapolis Pottery. So this is one of my favorites. It is like brown and tan and has flecks of blue in it. It reminds me exactly of the inside of a seashell. I grew up on the eastern shore of Maryland, about 30 minutes from Ocean City, Maryland. So I grew up at the beach, and seashells will always be special to me. And side note, before we jump into today's coffee talk topic, if you are watching this on Facebook, because I put the video version of this on Facebook, I also put it on my YouTube channel, on Christy May Campbell YouTube channel. There is a giant 130-pound dog behind me laying on my couch with his balls just directed at the camera. So if you're listening to this and you don't want to see Rocky directing his balls at the camera, good, you've succeeded. If you're watching, I apologize. Not because he can't lay down like that. I mean, it just seems like a lot. It's kind of ridiculous. So anyways, today's coffee talk message is about blinders. Blinders. What do I mean about blinders? Blinders might be the most underrated essential strategy for accomplishing your goals. And if your goals are to exercise more, to eat better, to lose weight, to feel healthier, oftentimes that kind of a goal is going to take a long time. So we're just going to kind of frame this out. Yes, that's my goal. One of those things that Christy just said. Okay, fair. It's going to take a long time. Inside of that long time, there might be days that you feel really motivated, excited, driven. Other days that you don't feel like that. You feel the exact opposite. You feel frustrated. You feel annoyed. You feel impatient. You feel distracted. And then there's going to obviously be days where you're just going through the motions, where you are doing the thing, you don't really feel any kind of way. Now, people who achieve the goal that they set out for, so they change their nutrition so that they lose weight. They start exercising so they get strong and their body looks healthier and fitter. They stay out of the diet land long enough to start changing their relationship with food. They feel better in their clothes and more confident. So the destination, the thing that you want, the people who get to that place that you want to be somehow keep going for that long time. Most people just quit. So regardless of what exact way you're approaching those changes, most people don't succeed, not because the way isn't the correct way, but just because they quit. They don't finish it. Side note, this was true for me, especially when I was applying for things. So when I was applying for the Naval Academy out of high school, I remember learning that a huge chunk of people just don't even submit their application properly. And they just take themselves out of the running, or they'll do one piece of it, but they won't go through the next wicket, and they won't go through the next wicket. They just quit. And so there's only some people that will actually go through all the steps and end up at the end where they can be considered. And I was like, well, that's going to be me. And it was the same when I was actually an officer in the Navy. We had people who wanted to do particular programs, and I would get that kind of data back from the people who implemented the program, and I would tell that to the people in the Navy. I'd be like, hey, most people won't even finish filling out this application. If you fill it out and you have all of the pieces correct in here, you're already in the top 10%. And it was just light bulbs, because again, most people quit. Most people won't do the steps. So if we're trying to make changes to our nutrition, our exercise, our body, our mindset, all of that, I'm going to frame it again, and then I'm going to deliver you this piece of important information. So you want to make those changes. You recognize that it's going to take a long time. Okay? You know that it's going to be a while. You know that you're going to feel all sorts of different things on that journey, right? Some days awesome, some days bad, some days neutral. You know that. You could probably agree with me. Yep, I will. And then we've just decided that the most successful people, the people who give themselves the best chance, are just literally the ones who can keep going. Consistency. Who can keep doing the thing long enough to actually see the results. And consistency, P.S., is the number one thing that we focus on in fitme for creating results. It is the science behind our entire program, because we just make it more doable. We just make it easier for you to do. That's how we help people create success. We allow them to be consistent. We show them how to do it so that it is easier, that it is more doable, and then they can be consistent. So here's the thing. You know that you have to be consistent, and you believe me on all this parts, right? So we just framed it out. Yep, Christy. Okay, great. So what is one of the number one things that will stop you from continuing to go forward? To continuing to show up, regardless of how you feel. Comparison. Comparison is the answer. Because what happens is, because we're human, we are doing the thing. We could even have a day that we're feeling awesome, or even a day we're feeling neutral. But if this aligns with a day that you're feeling meh, then this is the recipe for quit. So what happens is that somebody else's picture, journey, body, words pop into our frame and make us think we are either on the wrong path, that our progress isn't fast enough, that it's never going to work, that we're unworthy, that our body's not good enough, or that it'll never look like that, or that maybe you need to be doing this other thing, or maybe that if you did this other thing, it would work better or faster, or why aren't you doing the thing in the first place? Because you haven't really been prioritizing as much as you should. It hasn't been perfect, and it's supposed to be perfect, so maybe it's not working. So you start to think, but the whole series of questioning happened because someone else's picture, words, body, energy entered into your universe in a way that impacted you. And so one of the most important things you can do when you are working on achieving your goal is to put up blinders. Big fat horse blinders. So if you're not watching, I basically put my hands on either side of my eyes so that I have no peripheral vision. I'm literally talking about taking away your peripheral vision and looking forward, looking at your journey, your road, your path. That's what I want you to do. I want you to not look at anybody else. I want you to look at what you have next, because again, we agreed upon it, right? We know it's going to take a long time. We know we're going to feel up and down. We know it's an important goal to us. We know most of the people that create success are just the ones that hang in there and keep going. So we need to hang in there and keep going, and we need to put those blinders up. And how do you put blinders up? You're like, yes, Christy, that sounds awesome, but I'm not a damn horse, and I can't put blinders up the way that you're talking about. You can. It's called boundaries. It's called putting proactive things in your life to limit what you allow to impact you. I don't know if that is a definition of boundaries, but it is my definition. Proactively putting things in your life to limit how other people impact you. That might mean that you mute people on Instagram or Facebook. It might mean that you unfollow them altogether. It might mean that you don't engage in conversations about exercise, fitness, bodies with certain family members in your life. You don't even go there. You don't even talk about it. You don't want to talk about it. It's one of your boundaries. You know that the thing that they're going to say is going to derail you. So you're not going to talk about it anymore because you have really good boundaries. You're not allowing it to impact you. It's not about stopping them from doing it. We're not doing that. You can't stop other people from doing that stuff. But you can have good boundaries. And When in doubt, if something enters your frame and somehow defeats your boundaries and gets in your head, the first thing you need to do is reach out to your coach or accountability buddy and let them know, I'm feeling in some kind of way because I just saw so-and-so and it looks like this, and I'm so frustrated that I'm not there yet. It's just not working, kind of thing. Saying it out loud to someone else gives them the opportunity to help be part of your blinders, because maybe they can help extract that out of your frame and put it into context and put it where it belongs. So worst case scenario, phone a friend, reach out to your coach. In fitme, you do weekly check-ins with your coach. That's what I want you to do. Tell your coach on your weekly check-in. I just saw this thing on Instagram. It said fit pregnancy. It made me think that I was supposed to be back to my postpartum body at 8 weeks postpartum, and it's been a year, and what the hell? I'm never going to look like that. Saying that out loud gets it out of your head. And then what does that do? It allows you to go back to doing the thing, to playing the game, to being consistent. It is ultimately one of the most valuable things that you can have on your journey. It's not the right plan. It's not, some secret sauce. It's having good boundaries, putting those blinders on and staying the course. That is how you do it. And then when in doubt, ask for help. But boundaries, 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 blinders, blinders, blinders. This is key for your goals in any category, because I know I have a handful of coaches that follow me. Listen, coaches, if you're following me, or if you're in business, or if you're in anything, if you work for someone else and you're working on a goal, you better put those blinders on. This applies to that too. Most people just quit. They don't even put themselves in the running. They don't even make it to the end because they get annoyed by looking at other people and seeing what they're doing, and then they just stop. Don't let that be you. It doesn't need to be you, because staying some version of consistent is doable. You can do it. You can. So that's my coffee talk message for you today. I know I got a little bit fired up, but this one is really, 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 really important. If you like this episode, share it with a friend. Coffee Talk doesn't have sponsors or anything. And so the only way that people find out about this podcast is if you tell somebody. And so if you know somebody who needs to hear this, share this episode on your story, tag me, send it to your friend. That way they can hear this, and hopefully that'll help them stay consistent in their journey. So thanks as always for tuning into Coffee Talk. If you haven't done so, subscribe to fitme Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. And if you are already listening on the podcast, then we want to have you in a part of the fitme free community Facebook group. So go to Facebook, search fitme free community. It is the one place you do want to be on Facebook, because we do diet-free, sustainable habits that work in your real life. And you can do it in there for free. You can get started with fitme in there and stay in there as long as you want using our free resources. So hope to see you there, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.